Hi, so today we're going to go through the program that I use most commonly with beginners who come to the gym. So you could fall under the beginner category in two situations. One is if you've never lifted weights before, or the second is if you've done a lot of training before and you may even have lifted weights before, but you haven't lifted weights in a structured way in a long time. So I'd call both of those people beginners. So a lot of people who do classes and things like that actually aren't beginners, and they pick up a lot of the weight training far faster than people with no exercise background at all, but they are beginners to a structured program. So I would put them on some form of this program, 0 to 100 I call it. This is the blue phase, and it's a German body comp style program, which I'll go into what that means now. Start with the first heading, which is exercises. In a German body comp style program, you do something for the hamstrings or hips, supersetted with some sort of upper body push movement, and then you do a second superset, which would be something more quad dominant, like a squat or a single leg squat, supersetted with an upper body pull movement. And that's the foundation of all your programming when you're doing a German body comp style program. There's a few reasons for that. When you're supersetting exercises that are upper and lower, you don't fatigue one body part too much. And that's crucial for beginners, because if we were to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises for legs, by the time you get to the 5th exercise for legs, and you're doing 3 sets of each exercise, you'd be on your 15th set, and the quality of the reps would be quite poor, and you'd be training with a really low weight just to get the work done in the end. So you're far better off doing a full body program like this, which is less volume per body part, but still a high amount of volume overall in the session as you're training the full body on one day. A second point on the exercises on this program would be that it's a very balanced program, or a very structurally balanced program. And what that means is your left side is balanced with your right side, your upper body with your lower body, the front of your body with the back of your body, which is a big programming mistake for so many beginners when they start lifting weights. They might do, for example, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of exercises that are quad dominant, and only 1 or 2 exercises that are glute dominant or hamstring dominant. So that might lead to doing step-ups, lunges, leg press and squats in the same workout, and just finishing off then with some leg curls at a light weight or some RDLs at a light weight, and far overtraining the front of the body with the back of the body. Another training mistake, very common and very similar to the first one, would be doing too much upper body and not enough lower body. If you're starting weight training, you should always be doing equal amounts of upper and lower body training, because you've so much progress you can make in your legs very quickly. After a few months of doing the basic exercises really well, the fellas in particular, you will be able to handle far more volume for your upper body, so you will be able to do more upper body days then at that stage, but at the start you should be training your legs just as much as your upper body. And the third point and the final point on the exercise selection will be a lot of the movements on this program are machine based, and they're with 2 legs, so that means that they're not too difficult technique wise. I find with a lot of the beginners who come to the gym, you start them on split squats, step ups, lunges, things like that. Their form is all over the place, their legs are wobbling all over the place, and they're just not able to handle the tension of a tougher exercise like that. So you'll see more exercises like leg curls, leg extensions, leg presses, hack squats, V squats, which I'm lucky enough to be able to use with all my clients here in the gym, so that when they go on to the single leg exercises, or the better exercises we'll call them, the more free weight ones like your Bulgarian split squats, walking lunges and barbell squats, that their technique is far better and they're far more able to handle tension, and already have a feel for feeling their glutes burn, or feeling their quads burn, or their hamstrings burn through isolation exercises before you move them into those heavier compound lifts with single legs that require far more technical skill and technique. That's what machines are absolutely great for. So I'm a big fan of your barbell back squat, hex bar squats and lunges and split squats, but only if you can do them correctly, and you tend to do them far better after getting a really good base of isolation type exercises or machine type exercises first. Sets and reps. So one of the main questions that I get always is how much sets I should be doing for this exercise or that exercise, and how many reps should I be doing. And the answer is always it depends. At the start, when you're a beginner to strength training, you should have a base in a lot of different rep ranges, but most of your reps should be done in the 8 to 12 rep bracket. And that's where most of the reps are in this program. I do like sets of 15 to 20 reps, and I do like building strength down in the 4 to 8 rep ranges at times, but the vast majority of this program will be in the 8 to 12 rep bracket and 3 sets, and you'll be looking to add weight to those incrementally as the weeks go by. How much rest should you be taking in between your exercises or in between sets? So the whole point of a German body comp program is that it's very tough. You should be sweating a lot, you should be out of breath, and it should be very, very challenging, nearly almost like circuit training. So if you are taking longer than 2-3 minutes per exercise, then you're not going to get that type of training effect from your program, and it's going to take you far longer. So there's 8 exercises on this program, and they're all done in supersets: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, and D1, D2. So I would do the A1, then I'd move straight into the A2, and then take 60 seconds break. When my clients are training with me in the gym, I make up the rest times as I go along, because I can get a feel for them and I can watch them in front of me, how fatigued they are in between certain exercises. I'll give them a little more if needs be, or I'll give them a little less if they're finding it too easy. But when you're training by yourself, I would do one exercise straight away, the second exercise in the series, and then I would take a 60-second break. Tempo or lifting speed. So this is something that a lot of lifters, especially beginners, don't know much about. So your tempo basically is your lifting speed. Now when someone is a beginner in the gym, I always just make sure that they're in control of the weight. So it's not moving really quick, there's no bouncy reps. If you try and copy the tempo that's in the videos that are already up on the channel of this program, that'll be perfect. So basically on the way down, you want to at least be 2 to 3 seconds, and then on the way up, strong on the way up, but not bouncing out of the bottom position like that, maybe on a bench press, and not falling down really fast. But again, it's not make or break as long as you can think to yourself, am I in control of this weight? If you're in control of the weight, especially on the way down, that's fine tempo for a beginner. And finally, a question I get all the time is, what weight should I use? The answer is always it depends. It's very, very dependent on the exercise, very dependent on the person, very dependent on whether they're starting from ground zero altogether and have never done any training before, or they're just a beginner to weight training. They've actually done some classes or played a sport before. So it's very dependent on the person. What I would tell you is, in a program like this, most of the exercises, especially the compound movements, so your compound movements are your multi-joint movements in the A series and the B series especially, you should be able to progress them session by session or week by week. So what you could lift for 8 to 12 reps last week, you should be able to lift a little bit more for 8 to 12 reps this week. This is a great program. It's a very, very simple style of lifting weights. It's perfect for beginners. It's going to help you make a lot of progress to your strength, and it's fun. Okay, so you get in, get out in 40-45 minutes max. You sweat a lot, and you're making strength progress from session to session. Full body workouts aren't too easy for anyone, especially if you haven't been lifting weights in a while and you're up there pushing really, really hard on each exercise close to your max. Just because the exercises are simpler to grasp doesn't mean an advanced person can't get a lot out of those exercises. As usual, if you've got any questions on the program or on your own training, don't hesitate to send me a message or comment below. Thanks for watching, and part 2 is going to be next week.